We are booming, baby. We got the market index out. We got year over year, last 3 months, last 30 days, or rather the month of. This is actually great. We are booming. Shout out, first off, to Gempire Cards. They're always dropping this off. It seemed like in July when we looked at this, we were near the top, but we weren't. It would have been a tough sell. Thankfully, the boom at least started partially in August of last year. We saw big months September, October, November, December going into the beginning of the year. We come out of our summer slump, if you will. But check this out, the market index. This is a fun one. 1 year, August, Dragon Ball is interesting that they put Dragon Ball Z. But anyways, Dragon Ball is up 263% year over year. Those are some insane numbers. Now, what's funny is when you are Dragon Ball, Disney, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, when we were all kind of smaller TCGs, that means we still had a lot of room to grow, right? When you look at growth, 263%, when you take that number and you're talking about 263% of a billion versus 263% of a million, that is, you gotta have to take that in consideration, right? You have to understand the growth opportunities here. So I'll give a shout out to Pokemon because they've always been number one. They've always been the highest pecking order, the alpha, whatever you want to call it, the king of the jungle. And they still, as big as they are, grew 190%. That's kind of crazy in and itself. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z in this scenario because that is a big number, yes. But we have to remember when it comes to that perspective, right? We are much smaller still than Pokemon, than probably even One Piece as well. But that just means that while Pokemon continues to raise the ceiling, to rise up into the ranks, to push up that sort of number, that opens up space and shows there is absolutely even more opportunity to grow than what we've had before. So this is huge, 263%. Look at this. Nearly every market is moving higher. Pokemon, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Disney, the stocks, gold, even collectibles. August has been remarkably strong across the board so far. The bigger story isn't that just the markets are healthy. Capital appears to be flowing in almost every asset class, with the S&P 500 hitting new records daily. Pokemon remains one of the strongest performers year over year, 190, while Dragon Ball, baby, takes the lead with a staggering 263%. Now, are we always going to be on the top of that food chain with just 200 plus growth? That's tough. That's real tough, right? 200% growth on $100,000 is very different than 200% growth on $1 million, right? But Pokemon, being as big as it is again showing us that there's a lot of room to go on. And the rest of it doesn't really matter. Now, what else do we have here? We also look at the 6-month period of where we were. Depending on your thoughts over the summer, you may believe that we were in a summer slump. You may believe now, being August, knocking on the door of mid-August, especially on the cusp of going into story time booster, that we are getting out of this funk, this slump. But even in the 6-month period of August, so this would be what, pretty much March until August, we're looking at 62% growth, which is great. Still good, but that just goes to show you that a majority, 200% of our growth really came in the back of last year, that third to fourth quarter. So not necessarily only August, but September, October, November, December. So I think for this year over year, we might still stay strong for the next couple of months. That's great and dandy. Don't get me wrong. But with this percentage here, now we're taking as February gets pulled out, as March gets pulled out, April and June's kind of the last strongest months that we had. When we're really focusing around June and July, and depending on how August goes, this percentage could go down, right? How do we change that? People like you, people like me are buying or selling or on eBay or on whatnot, are doing conventions, or growing this brand, growing this IP. I just made a video about 4 things that we can all be doing together, right? This can't be just me. This can't be just you. This has to be everybody. So 62% growth is great. But we definitely have some interesting months that we're going to be pulling these 6 months data from, and it's going to be a tough one, right? All right, the 1 month percentage, last 30 days, 1 month, however you want to look at this, we are up 12%. Kind of interesting to see the growth when you really look at what the other top 5 are, and then the next big name is Magic. So you can see, look, again, Pokemon had a tremendous amount of growth, but it definitely wasn't in the last 30 days. We had a lot of growth, and it was definitely in the last back half, beginning of the year, which is, again, still interesting that we have 62%, but in the last 6 months, of that 62%, 12 of it came in the last 30 days. Interesting. So we really, if you really want to have Dragon Ball as a whole, collectively, Fusion World, Masters, IP, but this pulling directly for the TCG, that means Masters and Fusion World, you really want them to stay strong. We need to have a repeat of what we did in 2020. We need to have August be a strong month with Story Booster, with manga getting out of this little weird dip. I should not be buying manga booster SBO1 boxes for $1,300, $1,400. Like, I shouldn't. It's more valuable, especially the cards, them inside of that are much more valuable. So this 12% here, this we can have a daily impact on this market right here. It's eBay. That's what we see with Golden. That's what we see with Fanatics. All of those. The more people that we have into the TCG, the more we can get this up. And this is a number that we can have an absolute impact on. It's getting out of this summer slump. I'll never miss that. Summer slump. August, September, October, November, December. Just blowing it out of the freaking water. These are big numbers for us. Speaking of big numbers, I'm not talking about myself. I wasn't talking about my weights. Check this out. In the last 10 days that we've been in August so far, the recording of this was August 10th. This is going to come out probably the 12th or 13th. But check this out. On Golden, Japanese, absolutely beautiful card. Black Label, top 3. Japanese, this is the top event winner. Gorgeous. Number 74 out of 100. And it black labeled? Crazy. And it sold at auction for 30 G's. That's kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. No other one sold, huh? Kind of nuts. And in the last, look at this. I just did a filter for $2,000 and above. We've had almost 60 sales in these sort of marketplaces where we see big numbers. This is the biggest one that we've had. August 9th, this was done. Before that, check out this one. Another huge card. 2023 Masters fans. All I hear is Masters is dead, Ram. Why are you talking about Masters? That's dead. It's not. People will come into my my streams. I like to say it because I think it's funny. I think it's a little ridiculous. But people will come in there and be like, why do you say Masters is dead? I'm just making fun of the people that say it. It's not. Have you seen some of these new sets that come out? Have you seen the all forms Vegito? Ooh, some of the serialized? God, lamb. But look at this big boy. 2023 Dragon Ball Championship Finals Alt Art Metal Leader BT22031 Goku and Vegeta, the tag team in hell. And again, not my favorite movie, but it is a sick card. Pop 1 sold for over almost $19,000 on the same day that we had a $30,000 sale. These are the type of sales you need, like 1 or 2 every day or so, that are going to just kind of help move that needle progressively forward. Are these big wins? Yes. But you know what's even a bigger win than just doing these big sales? Is having an ungodly amount of $100 and below sales. It's selling those normal cards that the typical average everyday person could afford. Ram, I can't afford $50 cards. No, I get it. I'm just saying in general, comparatively, $30,000 sales, $19,000 sales. Comparatively, these are the sort of sales that we really want to focus on as nice to haves, as that's fantastic. It's good to see people moving real big, large dollar amounts for these TCG cards, that they see the value in them. But what's just as important is those $100 and below. That's what you want. The commons, the uncommons, the rares, the alt arts, the supers and secrets. That's what you're looking for. Check this out at auction. BGS 10 on Fanatics, 16,200 BGS, still a low pop. What's fun, you know what? I'm going to take a second and talk about that. See, when I use that phrase just now, low pop, I'm saying it because it's true, yes, but it doesn't significantly alter anything with this card's value. Give me one moment. Please stay with me for a second. I'm going to take a sip of my water. Hang on. I got an awesome Pac-Man cup. Me. Perfect. Let me be clear about this. I don't have any problem with the phrase low pop. Low population. Low population, or low pop, as the kids like to say, is referring to this. This says pop 39. Anthony, what does that mean? That means BGS has graded 39 of these cards. It's a pristine 10. So that means if, I don't know, Dragon Ball made 30,000 of them, only 39 of them, not saying every single one has been graded, but only 39 of them have been graded as a pristine 10. In Pokemon, so let's just take one quick slide to the left, slide to the right. Now listen, in Pokemon, low pop is usually a additional sales tactic to say, though the market price for this specific card is 1,000, because it's a low pop, low population, there's not a lot graded at this specific grade or company or number, whatever, that it gives it an oomph of value because it's harder to get. Does that make sense so far? Let me give you an example. I have a whatever 1999 Charizard blah blah blah, and it is very difficult to grade. Then it's got a low pop. Well, that might give it, I don't know, every vendor's different, an extra 5%, 10%, whatever psychotic sales tax they come up with, because it's hard to get. It's got a low pop. Now, Pokemon's been around since 96. And actually before then, because they were doing Japanese. But in either case, with Dragon Ball, specifically Fusion World's been around since 2024. So we're talking about less than 2 years. Around the time it started is, I kind of jumped into it in the last year and a half, 2 years. The Fusion World was just, that's like all of its lifetime. So because Fusion World is 2 years old, in theory, or rather in actuality, everything is low pop. Because in Pokemon, they might have a Charizard from whatever fucking box, and there's 40,000 PSA 10s. That's a huge population, right? Because the market is very different for Pokemon than it is for Dragon Ball, right? I know we had a lot of growth, but it's because we're a smaller number. But they're much bigger than us. I don't think there's any disputing that, right? So when it comes to a low pop card in Dragon Ball, my thought is it's just a comment to be made. It's information that's cool as a collector. but it does not significantly increase that price. So if you go somewhere and you see some schmuck with a PSA, whatever the hell, he puts on that, and you know, market on that card's $900, but he's got a nice little sticker that says $1,300. Do Ram Fam a favor. Take a photo of the card and the thing, take a photo of the guy, and then ask him, hey man, I looked at comps every recent, 6 fucking last sales. 900, 900, 900, 900, 900. Not a dollar more, not a dollar less. 900. I'll give you 900. Why do you have that labeled at 1,300? And if the words that come out of that vendor's mouth is it's because it's low pop. Every fucking card is low pop in Dragon Ball. You understand me? Every single one. Or I've been grading for years. Cool, good for you. Congratulations. Every card is low pop. I think the highest population I've seen on a card, I mean, those are really bad examples. This one's probably low pop. 153. I was going to say like 500 or less. Every card is low pop in Dragon Ball if you really think about it. Oh, low pop. The golds, low pop. Is this the ultra? Yep. Low pop. What's this one? Tag. Everything tag is low pop. Oh, apparently not. Apparently tag has graded a bunch of these. Oh no, it's feedback. Never mind. Let me see. Pop 41, low pop. This one should be like 5 or less. Oh, there's 32 of them now. I only sold mine for $3,500. That's disappointing. What else we got? Damn, another one. Fuck me, I guess. Look, low pop. Look. Oh, this is Masters. Low pop. Low pop. You see what I'm trying to get to you? 113, low pop. You see the examples I'm giving you? 52, low pop. 10, low pop. 113, low pop. 57, low pop. Everything is low pop in Dragon Ball. So do me a favor, chat. I'm going to ask you to do me something. Do me a favor for some content, because as you know, I'll call people out. I don't give a shit. I don't blur people's faces. I'll tell you the information that's provided to me. And if I got to recant, if I got to provide more information, I'll do that. But if you run into somebody that's trying to increase the price of a fucking slab because it's a low pop motherfucker, we're all low pop. We are 2 years old. We are barely walking, still shitting ourselves, fighting for the scraps of the TCG world. We don't even have influencers. If Ram Fam is considered an influencer, your TCG is fucked. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not an influencer. No one should listen to me. Well, you should be here for entertainment purposes, not for advice. Maybe some exceptions to that rule, but you understand what I'm trying to say? Low pop is not a thing that you can tax on Dragon Ball yet. All right? Thank God we don't have to worry about the swirl. I feel like we're getting a little bit off topic. Thank God we don't have to worry about the swirl. When you got to worry about the swirl and the low pops and the blah, blah, blahs, that, all that, the sequential sets, you made it. But until that day, shut the fuck up. Anyways, so we got a lot of good sales here. August 2nd, look, 15K best offer. I like that. FBO, yeah, SBO1. Let's go all day, baby. Let's do it. These are great sales. Another one, 13. These were, a couple days before the slightly bigger one. I think that one was English as well. I mean, these are big cards being moved, and that's what we want. Look, Black Label on a serialized. Ooh, it's a 2019. That's actually pretty cool. It would have been cool if it was 2020, but still. Energy. Big auction. Big auction on that one, baby. Let's look here. A big one. 1081. I'll take that one all day. Pop 32 especially. And you have the X-Men logo in the background. Chat, we've had a fantastic 365 days. We've had a stronger-ish 6 months. The last 30 days, The fact that we're on the top of this chart should tell you how that slump's really affected us, right? And as we run into August 21st, at least from the day of this recording, is 11 days away, probably closer to like 7 or 8 days away by the time this drops. I mean, guys, we're talking about story booster time. Do I think it's the biggest thing in the world? No. Do I think it's going to overtake manga? Maybe in the short term, not in the long term. Do I think we need to put all of our money into Storytime? No. But I think Storytime is going to do things that we need it to do. And it's not just be an expensive set. We need Storytime to bring in people who loved the anime into the TCG. That's the responsibility of Storytime. It is not to be the best set ever. It is not to beat manga. It is not to be the best specialty series, tri-series, whatever, tri-pack, 3-for-1 that you're going to get. That's not the intention behind Story Booster. What we need Story Booster to do is to bring more people into the TCG. And they're doing that because now they're not taking these from the manga. We've already had those group of people. Now we're taking it from the people that grew up with the anime. The guys with the FU money. The guys that want to be part of this community. I remember watching that episode. I remember seeing Boo. That guy was crazy. I remember seeing Broly. He was my favorite. That is what we need Storytime to do for us. That 12% can be higher. You and I have a direct impact on that. We can do that together. Chat, if you haven't already, by the way, like, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what you think. Was July going into August, August going into September? You know, why do you feel about these months? Are we in the summer slump? Are we getting out of it? Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on Whatnot. It's right there to my whatever direction that is. We do dollar starts Tuesdays, 9 p.m., Saturdays, 10 p.m. So if you're watching this right now, and it is on a Tuesday, and is after 9 p.m. Eastern, or it is on Saturday, and is after 10 p.m. Eastern, guess what? Come talk to us. We'll talk about whatever you want. Give me ideas for content. Let's rant, let's goof, let's have a good time. Dollar starts, pretty much absolutely everything. Or you can follow us on Instagram. Make sure you like and subscribe here. Nonetheless, chat, we'll see you tomorrow for another good one.